So I'm doing my presentation on a novel called The Hunger Games, which is by author Susan Collins, and it was published on September 14th, 2008. So for a summary of the book, in The Hunger Games, the story takes place in a future world called Panem, which is made up of the capital as well as 12 districts. Every year, each district has to send one boy and one girl to fight in a deadly event, which is called the Hunger Games. The main character, Katniss Everdeen, volunteers to take her sister's place when her sister is chosen. Katniss is from District 12, which is one of the poorest areas, and she has to fight for her life in an arena filled with traps, other tributes, as well as dangerous challenges. She's joined by a character named Peeta Mellark, which is the other tribute from her district, who surprises everyone by declaring he's in love with Katniss towards the end of the book. As the games unfold, Katniss has to use her smarts, survival skills, and feelings for Peeta to stay alive. Along the way, she becomes a symbol of resistance against the capital's power, which controls the districts with fear. The book is ultimately a brutal commentary on power, control, and survival. So the first theme the book explores would be inequality and class struggles. In Panem, there's a clear divide between the wealthy capital and the poor districts. The districts, especially District 12, represents the lower classes, whose labor and resources are exploited by the capital. This theme reflects real-world social inequalities where the wealthy has control over the working class. For example, in many major cities around the world, the rich influences housing markets and wages, often making it difficult for low-income families to afford basic needs. The novel also explores themes of power and control. The capital controls the district with fear and manipulation. The Hunger Games themselves are a tool to demonstrate the capital's authority over the districts. This theme closely reflects real-world situations where government or powerful groups use similar tactics to maintain control over people. For example, in some countries, leaders use propaganda, censorship, and violence to silence opposition and prevent citizens from rebelling. There's also a very relevant theme of media manipulation within the novel. Katniss's role as a symbol manipulated by the capital draws a parallel to how media can distort truth and create heroes or villains depending on the narrative. So similar to how the capital uses the Hunger Games as a tool for social control, modern media often manipulates narratives and controls the public's perception. Reality television, social media, and sensationalized news are examples of how modern societies use entertainment and information to distract or control the masses. And then the last theme I'll talk about is rebellion and or resistance.